you feel the bass.
Everyone, welcome back to episode 17 of Vicious Rants. The often imitated, never duplicated backyard superstar, Tim Vicious. Before I go and start things off with the show, I want to say first off, thanks to everyone who wound up watching last week's season premiere. Bit of a shock to everyone, no one ever saw it coming. That was the whole concept on it. Wanted to surprise y'all with something you guys wouldn't expect. Glad it went really well. Appreciate all the positive feedback. Appreciate the negative too. That way I know where my mistakes are and I can go and try and improve on it. But if you're just hating on flat out hating, that's where the fuck yous come from at the end. Anyways, on with this week's bitching and moaning. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but Raw flat out sucked. I mean, it sucked like when Cena was still, when he was feuding with R-Truth for the title. That time frame sucked. And the whole reason why, the crowd was completely dead. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be crazy like Jersey was the week before, but, you know, if anything, at least something, like, I mean, the producers in the back, they downplay the crowd so much, it's not even real. That and the matches were just the same old stories that we've seen time and time again. And the fact that you had Antonio Cesaro, who, for all intents and purposes, it was a United States champion when he should be, if not the, then at least the #1 contender for the WWE or the World Heavyweight title, drop his US title to Kofi. And if anything, I know I've been saying guys like Cesaro and Kofi need to get a push, but really, it just seems like, my buddy Danny wound up putting this on there on Twitter, and we wound up having this as a little bit of a conversation. They just pretty much seem to give the mid-card guys the titles just to hold what heat or popularity they have for the time being. I mean, case in point, look at when Ziggler had the US title. That's when he first started with the #heel bit. And, he was even coming down to the ring with #heel written on his trunks. And next thing you know, all of a sudden, the Monday after he drops the US title to Ryder, he stops wearing them, and he starts with a show-off gimmick. I mean, it's like they're intentionally trying to do stuff to make you not be popular, and trying to push down the lower guys and keep the guys that are already on top on top. I mean, look, last I checked, Vince McMahon ran the damn company, not Eric Bischoff. And last I also checked, the name of the company was WWE, not WCW. What in God's good name is going on with that? I mean, seriously, why? Why are you guys doing this? Don't downplay the little guys. Do like you guys did in the Attitude Era. Make the little guys look like they could go toe-to-toe with the big guys any damn night. I remember watching when I was a kid in the 90s during the Attitude Era. Ken Shamrock was in World Heavyweight title matches. And then the next week, he was in matches for the Intercontinental or for the tag team. And then go right back over, cycling like that again. I don't know if you guys did that because you didn't have a whole big roster, or if it was because you wanted to show that anyone could. But to me, that kind of helped fuel me the thinking, well, if he can do it, any of those guys can. I mean, hell, you guys had, for all intents and purposes, and I'm not making this as a knock on the man because I've met the man, he's got a heart of gold. when you had Mankind, Mick Foley, win the title on Raw, everyone looked at first, before WCW made that god-awful mistake of having Tony Schiavone say that he was going to win. When they had that match, right before they announced on Nitro that it was going to do that, and they were just saying, we're going to have The Rock versus Mankind for the title tonight. Everyone's like, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. He's not that kind of guy that does. And then next thing you know, oh my God, he won. You know? That's what people want to see. People like to see, well, yes, people like to see the underdog. People like to see the hero succeed, the triumphant hero. Rise above hate. You know, that kind of shit. And I do that because I can't stand that rise above hate gimmick. You know? That, and if anything, Vicky, she sent me a picture on Twitter a while back. I'll see if I can look for it again. It was, fan had the most perfect sign for Cena for WrestleMania. It was him in a fetal position crying, saying, "It's been 10 years. Just give up." Please, do that, John. Do that. Marry a porn star. Live your life happily ever after. And pig out on Chunky Monkey from Ben & Jerry's. Okay? And if you watch Colt Cabana's podcast, you know what I'm talking about with the Chunky Monkey. Anyways. Give the guys that you don't expect to have the shot, give them the shot. I mean, you had Primo and Epico have the tag titles, and even though that was when everyone thought the tag titles were a joke and people are starting to consider them a joke again, it's because what tag teams do you have? Hell no. Okay, they're the champions. Ray Cara's out because Ray's got to nurse his knee before he can go back in, and Sin Cara botched a landing when he was tying his shoes. You got the primetime players who are, for all intents and purposes, the tag team jobbers. And you got Rogue Scholars, who, Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes, who are pretty much the only real tag team out there besides Hell No. So, you got them two. That's it. And you can't just make a show off of, can't make a tag division off of those two guys. You know, why not just have random people tag team for a bit at house shows to see who develops chemistry? Or even yet, here's just a far-fetched idea. You know, I remember reading before about these two guys that used to tag team in the New York wrestling circuit. What were their names? Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Why don't you have them tag team, for Christ's sake? That way you can have, they both get TV time, and you got a new team out there for people to watch. You know? It's pitiful and it's sad. And another thing that sucked on Raw, the Ryback promo. I mean, the whole concept of the promo was good, but just him doing the pausing and the heavy breathing, he was trying too much to sound like Jesse the Body Ventura. I mean, no. If you're going to do a gimmick, go and do your own. If you're going to do a bit, do it your own way. You know? You never heard people go and do the scream like Triple H when he said he was the King of Kings. You never saw anyone go and try and do a pose like Shawn Michaels when he was saying he was the Heartbreak Kid. Never heard anyone say that they could do a perfect plex better than Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. You know? It's... I don't know what the hell it is. I mean, that you're not even plugging your pay-per-view, really. I mean, you got Extreme Rules. It's supposed to be the post-WrestleMania pay-per-view that builds up for the rest of the year. That's the little pebble that's supposed to roll downhill to make the big snowball that turns into WrestleMania. How are you building up for the rest of the year when you're 2 weeks into the 2 weeks into the post-WrestleMania year, and all you've promoted is a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight title and a steel cage match between Brock and Tripp. And if anything, there's word going around now that Tripp may not even be able to, considering his arm injury that he got. Emphasis on the word if. Please don't start bad-mouthing me or bashing on the keyboard saying that I'm wrong and then go into an all-caps rage with 5 million exclamation points and there being 3 number 1s. Alright? Just saying. Hype it up good. And while, yes, it's good that that this coming Monday you're going to have Undertaker and Hell No versus The Shield, personally I think that would have worked better if it was at the pay-per-view itself. You have it on that, and you could have it be an Extreme Rules match, you know. That way you can highlight the concept of the pay-per-view itself. And even yet, if The Shield won, then that would give them more heat and more legitimacy, saying that they're an unstoppable force because they stopped the Phenom, The Undertaker. Or you have The Undertaker stop them, so that way he can say he was the one that broke The Shield. Either way, you could have it be a win-win if you do that. Now, if you're going to do the match on Raw and then lead to Extreme Rules, that'd be even better, but, you know, so far it just looks like that. And, quite frankly, I don't see it. I don't see on how you're going with this. Vince, like I said before, if you ever wind up watching this, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome, and I am offering you an invitation to come on here any point in time to question, argue, or debate with anything I've ever said that you feel was negative towards you and or your company. You know? I would love to do that. That would be great. But I'm also a realist. And in reality, I know the odds of you seeing this are slim to none. So, yeah, that's just bullshit. That's just bullshit and wishful thinking like, oh, please let him see this. I really want him to come on here. No. Because you know what? I know you won't. I know you won't. Even if you do see it, and even if you get mad day in and day out, and you hit me with court injunctions, or cease and desist, or whatever's, you know, to have me stop, you still can't stop me. There's nothing saying you could ever. Because all it takes is for me to get one person that watches this riled up and say, you know what, I want to do like him. And start working on videos or go on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and then just start slamming, and then he could hit another, and then they hit another, and then so on and so on. You're insulting your fans by feeding us the same regenerated stuff over and over. This is pretty much almost exactly like on how things were before Punk did the infamous promo up on the stage in Vegas. Which, if you're watching this and you've never seen it before, 1, shame on you. 2, buy the CM Punk DVD and watch it. And then 3, watch it again. Because he's speaking the truth right there. Alright, so sadly no one decided to leave any questions or anything on here for the show today, so now I have to wrap it up on this. Alright, campers, so once again, time for the shout outs now. And make sure you like all these cool ass cats on Twitter. KCat26, my brother from another mother, James Steele, JX2001, that Roxy girl. James and Roxy are both have YouTube channels. James is the JX2001. Roxy is Roxy's Room. Make sure you check them both out. I am Danny Sunday _it's the bitch. Lucky Morris. Also, make sure you check out her podcast, Brit Russell Chat. I listen to that. Really good stuff. Helen Robinson 82, Meow _Cakes, Jerry Soriano, Team Custom Made, Craig Ansel, CC Impact W Fan, Legion Lady Aaron, Legion of Nerds. Also, make sure you go and check out legionofnerds.com. Like I said, they're going to be having these on there.